Welcome to our first video here with Easy Title and Escrow. My name is Ellie, and we have today here Beatrice Calero from Easy Mortgage, and we're going to be talking today a little bit about the process of a title insurance company and what.
So Ellie, what is a title company?
Well, a title company is a neutral third party that does not represent either the buyer or the seller, and what it does, it represents a transaction itself. So we make sure that we do a complete overview of the history of the title and make sure that we're transferring a clean and transferable title to the new buyer.
Okay, and how does that benefit our client?
So this is what we do, right? We make sure that as soon as we receive the contract, we review the identity of the seller. We make sure that the person that's selling the property is the rightful owner. And we go back about 30 years in the history of the title, and we make sure that there are no unpaid taxes, liens, judgments, violations, nothing that can cloud the title, so we can transfer to the new owner, right? So as soon as we do that signing, that happy closing, that buyer can feel safe that the title of the property that they're purchasing is clean and it has no issues.
Okay, so that makes sense. Can you walk me from beginning to end of a transaction?
Absolutely. So happy buyers, they just got under contract on their dream home. What we do is we make sure that we reach out to the seller, verify the identity of the seller, and start all the paperwork on that. We request our title and lien search on that property, which usually takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days. And once we receive that, our underwriters send us a commitment to the title policy that we're going to provide to the new owners. So in the meantime, we will see if anything needs to be worked on, if there's any, like I said, any unpaid taxes, liens, judgments, anything that could cloud that title, and we work on that. So we have little FBI agents, I like to say, that work behind the scenes to make sure that if there are any issues, we find out what it was and who needs to resolve them. So when we transfer that title, the buyer does not have any issues in the future.
Okay, and I have another question. How do you protect the company from seller fraud, which is really common nowadays?
That's actually a great question. Yes, especially here in Lee County, we have a lot of fraud when it comes to vacant land. So what we do is, as soon as we get that contract, we reach out to the seller. We have great systems that will send a link to them where they have to verify their identity live. They have to take a picture of their ID, and they have to do a live picture of themselves. We also make sure that we take the right steps to signing on the day of closing. We only have a couple of options for them. They either have to come in person here to one of our offices, or what they can do is we can do RON. It's an online notarization, and those are certified notaries that we have that get this work done. So they cannot just, we cannot just send them a package and they sign on them by themselves and send it to us. We make sure that they go to notaries that have been certified by our underwriters and are approved to be able to get this job done.
What about if the seller is in another country and they want to do the closing as soon as possible, and we don't want to delay the process just because he's in another country?
Well, this is part of a transaction, right? So we have to make sure that we do our due diligence and we're not being rushed. So there's also options. Again, we can do RON if they're U.S. citizens, or they can go to their embassy in their country and they can do it there as well.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so you open the file, you verify the seller's information. What happened next?
So what we do is, again, we do a little bit of research on the title. If anything needs to be worked, we have the 15, 20, 30 days requested in the contract. If we are clear to close, we let all parties know that title is good and we're ready to move forward. So a few days prior to closing, we will send out our final numbers, let the buyer know that our wire instructions have not changed, re-verify the wire instructions, letting them know what the process is, what to expect when they come to closing, what documents to bring at closing, and then we have the happy, exciting closing day.
Yay!
Where we celebrate and have our little coffee.
That's the goal, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that's pretty much what a title company does. We protect the buyer, we protect the seller, and all parties involved. The lender, we protect the agents. We make sure that we are, again, neutral party, but we're there for everyone and we work for everyone. So we're just excited to be a part of it and be chosen to be a part of that journey for them. If you have any questions about title insurance, we have offices in all Southwest Florida. You can give me a call. My cell phone is 239-628-0137. Thank you and see you at the next video.